Buying a new car in 2025 is more complicated than ever. The choice isn't just petrol or diesel anymore, now it's hybrids, plug-ins, and full electrics. Each option has its own pros, cons, and long-term impact on your wallet and the environment. Car buyers must now consider charging infrastructure, battery range, and emission zone rules. Websites like Carwow and AckoDrive have become essential, offering tools to compare costs and check compliance. The questions have changed. Is my commute right for an EV? Will this car be allowed in the city in 5 years? Every purchase is a vote for the future of mobility. The journey to a new automotive era is happening one decision at a time. The shift to new automotive technology is a global phenomenon, but it isn't happening everywhere at the same speed. While some countries are racing ahead with electric vehicles and hybrids, others are still deeply rooted in traditional petrol and diesel engines. The reasons for this are complex, involving everything from government policy to consumer habits and local infrastructure. In the UK, electric and hybrid cars are gaining ground fast. Platforms like Carwow now feature a growing number of EV listings, and government incentives make it easier for people to make the switch. Strict emission zones, such as London's ULEZ, are pushing drivers to consider cleaner alternatives, and public awareness about climate change is also fueling the transition. In contrast, India's roads are still dominated by petrol vehicles. For most Indian families, affordability and fuel efficiency are the top priorities when choosing a car. Petrol cars and scooters are seen as reliable and cost-effective, especially in cities where daily commutes are long and public transport options can be limited. Diesel remains the fuel of choice for larger vehicles like SUVs and commercial transport, thanks to its power and range. Meanwhile, electric vehicles are just starting to gain traction in India, with a few charging stations popping up in major cities, but widespread adoption is still a long way off. The UK's higher average incomes, strict emission regulations, and a dense network of charging stations make it much easier for drivers to adopt electric vehicles. The government's clear roadmap for phasing out petrol and diesel cars is also giving people the confidence to invest in new technology. In India, however, the high upfront cost of electric cars and the limited availability of charging infrastructure keep petrol and diesel firmly in the lead. Many buyers are waiting for prices to drop and for charging stations to become more common before making the switch. For now, petrol and diesel remain the backbone of India's car market, powering millions of vehicles every day. Meanwhile, the UK is accelerating toward electrification, with more drivers making the leap to cleaner, greener cars each year. The global transition to electric vehicles is uneven, shaped by local realities like income, infrastructure, and government policy. Each country is moving at its own pace, creating a fascinating patchwork of old and new on the world's roads. Governments are actively steering the car market using a mix of penalties, taxes, and attractive incentives to influence choices. In the UK, clean air zones and government grants are pushing buyers toward cleaner cars and electric vehicles. In India, subsidies like the FAME scheme and stricter emission standards encourage both cleaner engines and new electric technology to flourish. Now, buyers must factor in future regulations and incentives, not just price, features, and reliability. The government's influence is clear. Policies are actively shaping what we drive today. The road to cleaner cars is being paved by both regulation and reward, guiding us toward a greener future. The cost of driving today is no longer just about how much you pay at the petrol pump. Now it's about comparing the price of fuel with the cost of charging an electric vehicle, and understanding how these numbers affect your wallet over time. For many drivers, this means a whole new way of thinking about what it really costs to get from point A to point B. In the UK, where fuel prices are among the highest in Europe, the appeal of electric vehicles is growing. Off-peak electricity rates make charging at home much cheaper, especially for those who drive long distances every day. For high-mileage drivers, the savings can add up quickly, making EVs an increasingly attractive option. However, the higher upfront cost of electric vehicles is still a major consideration. Buyers have to look beyond just the sticker price and think about the total cost of ownership, which includes fuel, maintenance, insurance, and even resale value. This calculation is more complex than ever before. In India, the situation is even more challenging. The price gap between petrol cars and electric vehicles is much wider, and for most families, petrol cars remain the practical and affordable choice. Infrastructure for charging is still developing, and many buyers are waiting for prices to come down before making the switch. Installing a home charging station can add to the initial expense of owning an EV, and not everyone has access to private parking or the ability to install one. These extra costs and logistical hurdles can slow down the adoption of electric vehicles, especially in densely populated cities. But there's hope on the horizon. As battery technology continues to improve and production scales up, the cost of electric vehicles is expected to fall. This will make EVs more accessible to a wider range of people, and could eventually tip the balance in their favor. The economics of driving are evolving rapidly. Buyers today are more informed than ever, using online tools and resources to compare costs, incentives, and long-term savings before making a decision. The next car you buy will likely be the result of careful research and calculation, not just habit or tradition. As the landscape shifts, making a smart choice means understanding the true costs and the potential savings of every mile you drive. Diesel engines still have a strong case, especially for heavy-duty needs. Their high torque makes them ideal for towing and carrying heavy loads. In India, diesel SUVs like the Mahindra XUV 700 are popular for families and tough terrain. In the UK, tradespeople and farmers rely on diesel pickups and vans for their work. Modern diesels are cleaner than ever, thanks to advanced emissions tech. For those who need power and efficiency for big jobs, diesel remains the practical choice. Diesel's role is shrinking, but it's not disappearing anytime soon. While EVs grab headlines, petrol and diesel engines are quietly getting cleaner and more efficient. Car makers are using tech like direct injection, turbocharging, and advanced engine management to boost efficiency and cut emissions. Modern petrol and diesel cars now feature sophisticated systems to reduce pollution and improve fuel economy. These improvements mean even buyers who stick with traditional engines are driving cleaner cars than ever before. The push for better internal combustion engines is part of a broader strategy to reduce emissions now. Cleaner engines are helping bridge the gap as the world transitions to electric. The next decade is set to be a transformative period for the automotive world, as we witness a major shift toward electric and hybrid vehicles, especially in developed markets. Governments are introducing stricter emission standards, and automakers are investing billions in new technologies. This means that the cars we see on the road will look and perform very differently from those of today. By 2035, electric vehicles and hybrids are expected to dominate new car sales in places like the UK, where ambitious targets are pushing the industry to phase out petrol and diesel engines. Showrooms are already filling up with the latest EVs, and buyers are increasingly drawn to their lower running costs and environmental benefits. However, petrol and diesel vehicles won't disappear overnight. They'll remain a crucial part of the automotive landscape, especially in developing markets and for specific needs where electric options aren't yet practical or affordable. Many people will continue to rely on these vehicles for their daily commutes and long-distance travel. In India, for example, affordability and reliability will keep petrol cars popular for years to come. For many families, petrol vehicles offer a balance of cost, convenience, and familiarity that electric cars can't yet match, especially in areas where charging infrastructure is still developing. Diesel vehicles, meanwhile, will continue to play a vital role in heavy-duty transport, agriculture, and construction. In remote areas or industries where charging stations are scarce, diesel engines remain the most practical and reliable choice for getting the job done. The transition to cleaner vehicles is gradual. For the foreseeable future, petrol and diesel cars will coexist with electric vehicles, each serving unique roles and helping to bridge the gap as technology and infrastructure catch up with ambition. While the era of petrol and diesel dominance is coming to an end, their story is far from over. They will continue to be part of our roads and our lives, adapting to new realities and evolving alongside emerging technologies. The future of driving is a fascinating blend of old and new, where tradition meets innovation, and every journey reflects the ongoing evolution of how we move from place to place.